Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Between the Lines podcast with our co hosts Aparnesh, Yash, and myself, Aman. Today's episode is on the transfer incomings, on the most recent and the most news making transfer incomings of this season in Europe. And we have a good lineup, and we have all the new incoming transfers and uh, one shock retention here in our lineup. So the first manager, we'll start with the podcast right away. The first manager that we will be talking on will be Vincent Company to Bayern Munich. Aparnish, please share your thoughts on this.
Yes. So guys, I think this one was more of a public appointment. I think they went through 5, 6 different options before choosing the company. Uh, I I I have a feeling that they have always wanted to hire somebody who's young, who's upcoming, and who plays attacking football. So they chased after a few of them, including Alonso, who decided in the end to stay at Bayer Leverkusen. Uh, as far as Bayern's choosing company is concerned, I think uh, it's a decent choice. But fair enough, you get relegated with Burnley and then suddenly you get signed by Bayern. I don't think it has happened before, so it's interesting to see how it works out. As far as uh, as far as his performance with, or how do I see it happening going ahead is, uh, I think at Munich company will struggle. He will have a different kind of a squad, different kind of egos to manage. He will struggle for a bit, and then he will settle down and probably put in his ideas. So I am predicting him to struggle for the first few months and then settle down. Uh, I still think Alonso is too much for him to handle, and Alonso will end up winning the league. And maybe if he stays for the second year, then maybe his second year will be stronger than his first one. I rate this transfer as a 7 out of 10,
Oh,
considering what options they had and how they messed that up.
do you predict a trophy for Bayern this season?
I don't know. I think they'll be close in the cups. I don't think then they will be anywhere near either in the Champions League or in the league. I'm gonna go ahead and predict that they will even finish third.
Okay, bold, bold one. Okay,
Uh,
Aparnesh, thank you. Next, I will be sharing my decisions, my opinion on this one. So this is like a person who was working in like a company that was going bankrupt. Out of nowhere, gets a job offer from a farm company, and he just moves there. And then you are thinking that why did Google choose this person? And you are like, okay, maybe there was no one else in the market. I don't think this is a good match. But in spite of all that, because I saw companies Burnley playing, and even after uh, they the other teams that were playing Nottingham and Luton, their gameplay in my opinion was much better than what Burnley performed this season. I expected them to at least outperform Burnley, to at least outperform them with the tactics which they came in. And that's why I don't think that this is a good idea by Bayern. They all obviously Xabi Alonso was first choice. They had many more people there, but I don't think this is a good idea. So but still, I think that Bayern is a very player-oriented club. Also, they have the shock of not winning a trophy in so many years. So I think that the gameplay will stabilize, and think that company will probably do a decent job with Bayern, maybe compete in the league till the end, take them to the quarterfinal or the semifinal, because the team is that good that that will happen on its own. Okay, but still, I think that at the end of the season, Bayern will be looking for a new manager, because first of all, firing Tuchel was also not a good decision, but he was also not delivering. But somehow he delivered last season. At the end, some things just happened for him, and he won the league. But yeah, that is what, and I rate this transfer like a 5 out of 10, and I think that he will be going away from Bayern very soon, in spite of a good performance, because of not delivering trophies. Yeah. Okay, Yash, it's your time now. Go ahead.
wow. I'm going to have a completely different opinion as to what my co-hosts had. I have been a big supporter of Vincent Company and his managerial career. The problem felt he had with Burnley in this Premier League season was that uh, he was playing in a way which did not suit his players. The ideas and the tactics were right, but the players to implement them, he did not have the players to implement them. And this is a weakness in his managerial profile, obviously, that he should have tweaked his system, he should have tweaked his style to accommodate this particular fact, but he didn't. But um, why Bayern chose him? First of all, he's as Aparnesh said, a very attack-minded coach. Wants to have the ball. Has learned his principles from the likes of Pep Guardiola and co. And that is one reason why Bayern wanted him. But the other bigger reason that I think Bayern wanted him was his off-field, off-football work rather than on the pitch job. He is a strong leader in the dressing room. We saw that with Anderlecht. One of his speeches went very viral, and he's very well respected in the football community. And he not only imposes himself on how they play on the pitch, but he also imposes in the style of Pep Guardiola, in the style of Thomas Tuchel, how his players behave off the field. What are the off-pitch routines that the players follow? And that is one thing that I think Bayern were looking for in their manager. Coming to how it will go, I am predicting a rough start, but a very good season for Vincent Company, and I definitely feel that he'll be winning the Bundesliga in his first year. I know Alonso has done a really good job at Leverkusen, but with some outgoings expected at Leverkusen, and I don't see Alonso following. Alonso, although is a brilliant coach, I don't see Alonso competing with Bayern, with Company, and with the kind of players Bayern has. And I think Bayern will do very well in the Bundesliga, win it. But I'm not. I don't think they're going to uh, be a Champions League contender or a favorite. They might go on and win it, but I I wouldn't put them as favorites anywhere near favorites. But I think he'll win the league. And rating wise, I I really like this move from Bayern because it is a very bold move, and I would like to give it a 9 on 10, in my opinion.
Okay, okay. I think there are some blue tinted glasses on you because you've been a City fan throughout the time when Vincent Company was your captain. He was obviously he was a very pivotal player and he was clutch. He won you that one goal against Leicester. Everybody
Leicester
remembers that.
wonderful.
Yes, and so probably that is also paying in. But yeah, good analysis by Yash. Okay, the next manager. Let's come to this one. Hansi Flick to Barca. Yash, you can take this away. You're on the spotlight, so go ahead.
Sure. So again, this is an appointment that came out of nowhere. Um, Given how Hansi Flick likes his teams to play, given how he played at Bayern and then at Germany, he likes players who are physically very strong, very intense on the ball. The likes of Leon Goretzka comes to mind. Like if I have to assign certain players to a manager, Leon Goretzka is a Hansi Flick player. I would say that. But does he have those kind of players at Barcelona? I don't think so. Gavi can be one, but there is no strong number six DM right now at Barca. You have a multi-purpose six, a hybrid eight in Frankie De Jong. You have a very silky midfielder in Pedri, but you don't have those engines in the midfield. Neither do you have those engines on the flank. Okay, Balde Keita is a very good left back, but he's still fairly young and fairly prone to injuries right now. So I would take this appointment with a hint of caution, but it is one of those that either it will go very bad or very good. And I'm hoping it goes very good. He has been blessed with some of the best talents uh, uh, this world right now has, with Lamine Yamal, Pau Kubarsi, Pedri, Frankie De Jong, etc., etc. And I think he has the tools to make this a success. I am not too sure how this would go in reality. I don't expect Hansi Flick to win the title in his first season, nor make a very strong dent in the Champions League. But what I am expecting of him is exciting, high speed, high intensity football, and if he gives that, I think he will be retained for the second year, and he has a chance to make a dent in both the league and the Champions League in his second year in charge. Overall, rating wise, I would give this transfer a 7.5 on 10.
Okay. Okay, Yash. Next up, Aparnesh. Please share your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's the second best scenario Barca could end up with. The best one being with Javi. If they were to not be with Javi, not continue with Javi, I think Hansi Flick was the right choice for them. Like you say, it's he plays very attacking football with fullbacks very high, and these fullbacks do a lot of work for him. Uh, in terms of strikers, he has the quality with Rafinha, with Lewandowski, and with Lamine Yamal, with Pedri, with Gavi. He has enough creative players to cause any team problems. The only concern is, like you said, the engine that he needs, the Goretzka, the powerful midfielder that he needs. That is not there. The second concern I see with him is he puts a lot of pressure and a lot of uh, he lets he has his midfielders cover a lot of ground. So you would expect a Pedri and a Gavi who play as a attacking aid to cover a lot of ground. Them just returning from injury, covering that much amount of ground could then be detrimental to their own injury records. That could be a problem. He will have to rotate the squad. He will have to find solutions. I think it's the second best thing Barca would have done. But I think the state of Barca is the second best is second. Even the best is second. Second best is somewhere below that.
Good.
And as far as his performance is concerned, I think he will be second again. He will do decently well. He'll probably have some problems at the back balancing attack and defense to start with, but he will figure it out like he did with Bayern. And in the end, he will have a better season than Javi had last year. And he'll be running Real close. Although Real with Mbappe now is a different beast right now. So we can't compare Barca to Real, but I think he'll do decently well. As far as rating is concerned, I think it's 8.5.
Yeah.
8.5.
Just wanted to add something
Nice.
to it. Uh, what uh, what Xavi was criticized for the most in his time at Barca was that it was defensively fragile. Barca were defensively fragile. The La Liga teams couldn't take advantage of it, but in the UCL, it got exposed badly. And how? And Hansi Flick, even though being an attacking coach, needs to address that first. He
Right.
needs to either make the pressing structure solid or make them defensively solid in transitions if he has any chance of staying for the second year.
Got it. Got it. Okay, guys,
So
I'll share
what do
my
you think?
opinions on this one. I think, in my opinion, when you see how Real has built this squad, they have now three Ballon d'Or contenders in their attacking five: Mbappe, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo also cuts close. Okay, the only way to defeat this Real team will be to build a team which was as scary tactically and at every position as was 2019's Hansi Flick's Bayern. If you remember that team dominated everything in Europe, in the league, and everything. I think this is the only appointment that will that if it goes well. I agree with Yash's point that it can either go very well or it can just be a bust. But if it goes well, this team can absolutely match Madrid and absolutely give them a run for their money. This is the only, I think this was the only option that Barca had as to get a manager who tactically imposes his plan, stick to it, and his plan has worked in the past, not only in the league but also in Europe. Okay, regarding the players, the kind of players that in intense physical play that Barca are not known for, the young players, Gavi, Pedri are not known for that. Even Frankie is not known for that. They have to make some signings, but he has got his Lewandowski, who is a little bit older, but maybe not at the same
Gundogan.
level. Yeah, he's got Gundogan, and I think he will stabilize that defense. And I think this is the best option that Barca could have after Xavi going. I don't think there's any other manager who could give them a chance of competing with Real with the way that Real are going to be. And that is why, in my opinion, I rate this as a 9 out of 10 transfer by Barca. They have actually got the best tactical coach in the market that was available. They sealed the deal over there. Now just make the signings, get the team to play his way, and I'm kind of sure that the team will perform and give Real a run for their money. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Moving on.
Next, moving on to Enzo Maresca to Chelsea. Okay, I'll go with
Yes.
this one.
Yep.
I am surprised, shocked, and absolutely
There is no
devastated. It is
passion.
like
There is no order.
there is no plan, but there is money. There are three things that I want to ask. That since Roman Abramovich has come, no manager has survived more than 3 years. Why would you give someone a 5 year contract? Why? I don't understand this. Not even one, the greatest of all time, like Jose Mourinho. Carlo Ancelotti, even they couldn't stay for 3 years. How does a man get a 5 year contract? I don't understand that. Okay. And when your options are those who have played in only in the championship, you know what a shortlist was? Enzo Maresca, McKennie, okay, and we were looking at some other some manager from the Portuguese league who didn't want to come. Okay, so this, so this was what our shortlist was, and out of that, I think we've chosen the best option. We've gone with the trend that Premier League is following, which is creating a battle of the baldies. Now we have Enzo Maresca as the next as the next one. Speaking of him,
Pep Guardiola
tactically,
into
let's
Mikel Arteta combined.
yeah.
He
So
looks
I
like that.
so I saw his tactics. Leicester had the highest wage bill in the championship, and with that team, he's won the championship. So not taking a lot away from him, but his style is fairly simple. For he plays a 4-4-2, and obviously Chelsea has around three players in position, so he needs to find the players that he wants to build his team around. A lot of team is already set. A lot of it was also that he is being assigned because he will probably get the best out of Enzo because he's the namesake, and that is what we want. We want to get the best out of 100 million players. There's 100 million player from whom no one can get anything out of, which is Mudrik. But I hope he gets the best out of Casado. I hope he gets the best out of Caicedo and uh, and Enzo and makes a good midfield. And based on the candidates that were available in the market, I will rate this transfer 7 out of 10. I think he will make the Chelsea are already on way to compete for top six. We already finished sixth. I think he'll take us to top four. I'm being optimistic here, but I think he'll make us to take us to top four. I would give this 6.5 out of 10 rating. Okay, Yash, next is you. Please go ahead.
This is a tough one to commentate on. First of all, why did Chelsea do this? And I really don't have an answer. Things were by finally clicking with Poch. So why would you go ahead and do that? That is something that I I have no clue for. Uh, but if I look at this signing with no background of what was happening, I think he's a manager with the Pep Guardiola school of thought. Uh, Likes to play attacking, possession-based football, but we'll see how he copes with it in the Premier League. It's very difficult to call. One thing that I would um, credit him on. I don't know this fact, but I loved the transfer market activity that Leicester did when Enzo Maresca came to Leicester. And if he had a part to play in that, that means he has a very good knack for signing absolutely under the radar good players and making them play to the best of their ability. He got Steffi Mavdidi, who proved out to be a brilliant signing. One of my favorite players in the championship last year was a right winger named Abdul Fatawu Issahaku. Yeah. And he was absolutely brilliant. And I remember him going to Leicester because in FIFA 23, before the season even started, I saw his rating and I saw his potential and I signed him on FIFA. And when I saw Leicester
Nice.
do it, I was very surprised. And now they've made that signing permanent. So again, he was a very good signing, paid dividends. Callum Doyle from Manchester City was a very good signing. He got the best out of two central defenders that I had no hope for: Wood Face and Harry Suter. Okay, both
Vestergaard.
lumberjack 6 feet 6 inch centre backs who cannot run for their lives. Yes, and he got
Exactly.
decently. He played them. He made them play decently well. So some good signs there. How will it go? If he can manage the squad size, which is an absolutely mammoth, impossible task to do, and if he can trim down that squad to somewhere around 25, 26 people and have a defined uh, first 11 or even first 15, I think I agree with Aman. He is definitely a top six contender and may even push for top four. Given how would I rate this particular transfer? It's very difficult to call. I'll give it a 7 on 10. Just because I didn't see why you would sack Pochettino. Uh, uh, After he had either you had to do it before or you just had to wait for some time. But yeah, to you,
Okay.
Apardesh.
Okay, Yash. Great analysis. Great man. Thank you. Aparnesh, take the stage.
So, since I've been following Chelsea for about 15 years now, every time Chelsea sign a manager, I do my research on YouTube. I go back and I search what do they do, how do they play, what do they prefer, be it Conte, even Sari, Potter. Enzo Maresca has been signed for about a month now. I have done nothing because I have no interest in going back and watching Leicester in the Champions League. Not because I'm not excited about this transfer, but because I feel it will be more than tactics. This one and this fitment will not be about tactics. His tactics, he can play as whatever he wants. It does not matter. The requirement that I have from the next Chelsea manager, Maresca, is that he plays the best players in the best position. I don't want Enjo to bombard the box. I don't want Caicedo to sit as a six. I want them to. I want him to get the best out of these kind of players. I want him to get the best out of or play the midfielders, the wingers in the right position, in the right size. Ask them to do the right things, which I think, from what I have heard, again because I have not watched Leicester and I'm not gonna, from what I've heard, he has been doing that with Leicester. He has gotten the best out of some of these players. Somebody like a Yannick Westergaard, who was no use, who was of no use. Somehow he made him a brilliant championship defender. So I think there is some hope. And the reason that they signed him is because it's Chelsea again. We're looking for, like Bayern, we're looking for somebody young, young in terms of managerial age, not ages, and somebody who does not come in with a lot of biases, somebody who's easy to control as well by the SDs, and somebody who can play attacking football because they want Chelsea to play attacking football, not like the Roman era. In terms of sacking Poch, I think even though Poch did well in the last 5 games, and based on that, sacking him is harsh, but in general, there were a lot of problems with Poch. There were a lot of red flags, and I'm happy that they acted. I would have been happy if this was Nagelsmann and not Mariska, but we have what we have. In terms of why he has been given a 5-year contract, I have a theory. I think the SDs were supposed to be judged, or are supposed to be judged, on this particular managerial appointment. If this works, the SD's career takes off. If this does not work, the next to be fired after the manager will be the SDs, which is why they have given themselves a 5-year gap where they can at least push it down the line. After 3 years, they will judge. After 4 years, they will judge. At least they're saving their own jobs. That's what I think in terms of the squad size. The one you mentioned, cutting that down, I don't think Chelsea manager will have any control over that. It's the SDs, the owners. They will decide who stays, who goes, what kind of players we have, what kind of players we sign. In the end, he will be given a 25 man, 22 to 25 man squad when considered the Conference League, including youngsters, and he will be asked to reach probably a top four and win the Conference League. And I believe this is a 7.5 out of 10 signing. Again, mostly because of him coming with a winning background. If it was not Leicester's, uh, so Leicester almost bottled the title. They almost did not win it last year.
Everyone
Uh,
bottled the title, not just Leicester. Leicester
so
lost 3 of the last 5. Ipswich Town
yeah,
lost 4 of the last 5. Leeds lost 3 of the last 5.
nobody wanted to be promoted
Nobody
to.
wanted to win.
Yeah, and Leicester even have a I think point deduction coming up anyway. So in that sense, I think he has a lot to prove. So it will be a 7.5. Hopefully, it will work out. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay, interesting, Aparnesh. Let's move on to the next one, which is the shock retention of the season. Eric Ten Hag stays at United.
I
Aparnesh,
think I
go
think
ahead.
this one is also a very practical decision that they have taken. Ineos, who is in charge of the operations now, what they have realized is that I don't have the right squad to achieve the right targets. Tomorrow, if I go and sign Tuchel, and probably they had that conversation with Tuchel, they probably had a conversation with other managers as well, and everybody probably told them that you need to sign 5, 6, 8 players, which they are not capable of right now. They need to fix a lot of infrastructure problems with United. They need to fix a lot of squad problems. Uh, but to fix squad problems, they don't want to. Ineos does not want to do a Todd Bowley. They don't want to go and hire recruit players on their own. They need those directors in place, and these directors are not in place. Dan Ashworth is not there. They have signed somebody from I think Newcastle who's still not there. So I think this one and their own vision will take some time to be implemented. That's why they have put Ten Hag as a placeholder for now. I don't think Ten Hag will end the season with United. I think by the time we reach Christmas, he will be sacked and probably be replaced by somebody young, somebody British, I think, because that's what I read that they're planning on doing. I read this transfer as a, or I read this non-transfer as a three. Uh, okay, not three is harsh. I'll probably give it a six. Six because it makes sense for them to keep him, but it also makes sense for them to fire him in 3 4 months.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you had an interesting analysis earlier, sorry, on Man United squad. So please take the stage here.
What can I say? As a City fan, if Ineos or someone from Ineos is watching, I'd say kudos. You've made a great move. This is the perfect move for us. I don't get this. He has been disgraceful, to say the least. The tactics have been non-existent. The play has been non-existent. You tell me one match that Manchester United has played in the last Premier League season, apart from their game against Sheffield United, both matches, where they've confidently walked in and said, "Yeah, we'll win this." Even with Manchester United against Luton Town and Manchester United home, there were patches where Luton Town were dominating, and I think they did not take all 6 points of Luton. Yeah. So
They did beat City in the FA Cup final.
yeah, that was because the half of the squad was drunk. But let's not go there. But it's if it serves the long term purpose of retaining Ten Hag's job, I'm good. I'm doing the greater good to the Premier League. So I have no clue. I think Upper Nation's theory may be right. They're waiting for some signings to come in before they get someone new. But if their plan is to uh, proceed with Ten Hag, and given how cocky and confident Ten Hag has been in his interviews, quoting that I am the best possible manager, um, all the best to him and to the Manchester United fans. How do I think this will go? This is not going to go well. I don't think this is going to go well at all, and don't be I'll not be surprised if we see him sacked in the next 4 to 5 months, and I won't be surprised to see if Manchester United do not make a good start to the season. I'll be actually surprised if they make a good start to the season. I think I can go even as far as predicting that in their first 10 matches, they'll do very well to win four. That's the standard of Premier League right now, and that's the standard of Eric Ten Hag right now.
This is a
How would I
great.
rate this decision to stay? It's a 0 on 10 decision because
Oh,
to me it makes no sense as to why you would retain him. Absolutely no sense at all.
okay, yes. Okay, yes.
So the
That was
first 10 matches they play: City in the Community Shield, Fulham home, Brighton away, Liverpool home, Southampton away, Palace away, Tottenham home.
Do you see them winning any of these matches except for Southampton away? And that too, I'm not sure.
probably Southampton. Probably
So
Southampton away. Nothing else. I don't think anyone else.
That's the
Okay.
problem.
Okay, I'll give you a very nice. I live with Arjun, who's a friend and who's been a Manchester United fan, and I have seen his own personality just drop down and become a negative person throughout the season. I've watched that happen to him. In fact, when we were watching the FA Cup together, he was not happy when they won because he knew that this guy will stay. And that is a person who's been following Manchester United for last 15 years. He loves that club, but that is why the move from Glazers to Ineos Group happened, because they want to listen to the fans. There are managers like all ex-Chelsea managers, Conte, Pochettino, Tuchel, who are now available in the market. You take any one of these experienced managers, he's going to give you a good defense, okay, and he's going to build some tactics around the squad that can push them based on individual talent. But retaining this man absolutely makes no sense. Absolutely, I agree with you. I haven't seen them. They The mentality of these players has become so fragile that they are conceding 90-minute goals to championship level teams. In
Yeah.
the semi in the FA Cup semi final, they just scrape through there. Okay, that match against Chelsea also, they were winning, and then out of nowhere they just conceded that they don't have their heads in their place, and every the dressing room is all falling apart. Some of the people were telling that there is no way that a player like Amrabat can play in a team like Manchester United, a top 6 Premier League team, if it was not for Ten Hag, because that is the kind of condition that they are
You saw
in.
Casemiro. You saw Casemiro and his performances. How was he not
Casemiro
dropped?
Casemiro still came with a good reputation. He's a Champions League winner, and yes, he was obviously disappointing. There's like I always saw that this team was one or two players, like those young players, Mainu, Garnacho, and Hoyland, and Bruno Fernandes pushing them. Like these four players are trying to pass among them and do anything possible. That poor guy Hoyland just runs behind loose balls throughout the match. He's not getting one touch. That is what the situation of this was. So as a Chelsea fan, I'm happy, but again, as a United fan, I know how it hurts the fans when they see the team playing so poor football, a team that has been dominant. And thus, like Yash, I'll also give this one a 0 out of 10. It's a very poor decision by the United management. They should have gone for anyone else. They're good quality managers available in
Yep,
the market,
yep.
and get squad, do what the fans want at least. So yeah, that's my opinion. Okay, let's
And
move on to the
after
next
this,
one.
if they go for Gareth Southgate.
Accord-
Oh, yeah.
okay. Okay, this is a bit of a black box for us. Okay, Thiago Motta to Juventus. So I haven't seen a lot of Genoa playing, but what I
Bologna.
think is that
Bologna.
of Bologna playing, sorry. And what I think is that Thiago Motta, he has a style which is close to the style that was played by Marcelo Bielsa. He has a very unorthodox, not as unorthodox as Bielsa, but a very close tactics. And you went whenever in the Italian league someone comes up with something new tactically. For example, when Sari came up with his Sari ball, he also dominated that. And when Conte came with the 3-4-3, he also won the league for when and changed football. So he has an opportunity at a good squad, at a good team. But in terms of winning the league, Italian league, I seriously can't predict anything that happens. One season AC Milan win, one season Napoli win, the next season someone out of the blue is winning. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I this is a black box for me. So I will rate this transfer like a 6 out of 10. I hope he does well at Juventus. Juventus is known to give their managers time, and he has been a fantastic player, obviously, and he has played under some great managers. So he probably has adapted his style based on them. But for me, this is like a 6 out of 10 appointment. But let's see what happens. I'm pretty optimistic for Juventus. Yes, you have done some research, so please go ahead.
Yeah. Um, it was very interesting that you compared him to Marcelo Bielsa. Uh, I would compare him. I would say that he's a mix of Marcelo Bielsa and Roberto De Zerbi. Yeah, because he has a similar style. So from what I saw of Bologna, I saw some analysis, some videos from YouTube. I watched some of the matches highlights. It's very interesting. First of all, the one thing that I loved was the build-up play. The build-up play was very interesting. He builds with a back two at times, so it's like a 2-1-4-2 kind of a 2-1-4-2-1 kind of a formation. Uh, Fullbacks inverted, center midfielders going to the wings, all sort of rotations happening. It's good. Uh, but it was only good enough to get Bologna fifth. So he joined Bologna. It was his first job. He joined Bologna in 2022. Um, uh, he finished seventh or eighth, I think, in his first season. Second season, he finished fifth, which is a big achievement. Now Bologna will be playing Champions League football, so it's obviously a big achievement. But you also have to say that you also have to state that he did some incredible player development in his time. So some of the Bologna players have been at the target of major clubs right now. The work, especially one transfer that I'd like to highlight, is Joshua Zirkzee. Joshua Zirkzee uh, was playing in the Bundesliga with Bayern's academy, got promoted to Bayern's team. Joshua Zirkzee was never given a proper chance at Bayern. went to Bologna, and when he was given a chance, he did not perform well because he was being played out of position. He was being played as a winger rather than a false nine or a center attacking midfielder. Since he's gone to Bologna, he has absolutely dominated the season there. Uh, he has been absolutely brilliant. I think he did win, or he was in contention to win the Bologna Player of the Season. Very, very well deserved as well. So it's an interesting appointment. Juventus' squad is good. They were looking for fresh ideas from managers. Uh, this can again go very well. I don't see them winning the league because of the fact that Inter Milan exists. Inter Milan with Simone Inzaghi is a very, very stable team now, very experienced team now. They sign well. They have a very good setup, so I don't see them pipping Inter to the title. But they're absolutely going to achieve top four easily. They may even put up a title fight. And the main thing to see is how Thiago Motta does in his second season in charge when the principles are in place, uh, and the players have aligned to his philosophy. So I would give this a 8 on 10 simply because of the fact that Juventus have tried something new. They have never tried an attacking manager, especially not in the recent years. Am I missing someone who is an attacking manager?
Sari.
Because Allegri is not an
They signed
attacking manager.
Sari for one season.
They tried Sari, but Sari changed his football when he went to Juventus. So, so I don't know, but yeah, it will be a refreshing thing to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing how you will do.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to you watching Juventus as well. I've not watched a lot of Bologna because I'd never thought they will be this good. But he has been a revelation for them. Plays very attacking football. Um, he has this ability to handle a squad. He also comes with a pedigree of being a player for those big clubs, being a very good player for those big clubs he played with. As far as this transfer is concerned, I think Juventus were also again looking for somebody who's exciting, attacking, uh, and they went for Thiago Motta, somebody who has already an experience in playing Serie A football. So he'll be able to adapt quickly. Uh, does he have the right squad at Juventus to play the football that he wants? I don't think so. There will be some struggle. I think he will struggle in the first few months and then probably do well towards the end of the season. And like we predicted, yes, his second season will be much better than the first, and his second season will be much successful than the first. In terms of his results, there is no matching Inter in Serie A. uh, Inter are a juggernaut right now. They have the style they play, the football they play. Uh, I think it's amazing. I have watched a lot of Inter matches last season. The total football, the Italian version of total football they play is amazing to watch. They have very good team. They have a very experienced team. It will be difficult beating them. So I don't think Juventus expects Mota to beat Inter as well. The best he can do is finish second or third, which I think he will. And I think there will be progress. I think that's what Juventus will be
I
looking
think
for.
I
There
think
will be
I think
progress. And
Douglas Lewis. If they get Douglas Lewis, he's a brilliant signing. By the way, although
uh,
they
on the other hand, Napoli have Conte. Napoli are 10th. Napoli will not have European football, and Conte without European football is a different beast. As I can we
and
can
Conte
completely,
has his style of players. Victor Osimhen is a Conte player.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although Osimhen might leave, although it will be difficult to sell him considering the price they are quoting. Anyway, that's a different
But
discussion.
PSG have money now. PSG have money to spend. It
Yeah,
was the biggest thing that who will be replacing Mbappe. I think Osimhen is like the
I
highest
think
on that
if PSG were to
list.
sign him, it would have already happened. Is that is
Yeah.
Okay.
that that is what I think. I think there is some issue in there with Osimhen. But anyway, that's a separate discussion in itself. Uh, I think he Mota will do well. I think this transfer is another eight because it's exciting. It's new. It's exciting to watch attacking football in Syria, which I will tune in for, which is why I'm giving this an eight.
Okay. Now let's move on to the last managerial change.
Yes. So slot,
Honest lot at Liverpool. Go ahead.
I will in my review will not talk about slot. I will talk about Klopp. And Klopp as a figure for Liverpool has been historic. Uh, what it does, what it did obviously is brought in a lot of success. What it is going to do for Slot is that it's going to make life difficult for him. Every single word he speaks, every single action he takes will be compared to Klopp, not only by the media but by their own players who were loyal to Klopp, who were in Liverpool because of Klopp. So it will be difficult for him. Forget about all the tactics that he did with Fandrud, the trophies that he won, or what he is or what he is not. How does he avoid this conversation and comparison to Klopp every single point in the next season will be crucial in determining if he is successful or not. Uh, why they went for him? Liverpool actually I think were going for Ruben Amorim, uh, but I think Liverpool also are implementing a model where Michael Edwards, their sporting director or whatever he's called right now, director of football, I think he will be the key figure to run the club, and he wanted somebody who will listen to him, who will not demand things, or who will not deviate from the strategy that he has in his brain. Which is why they did not go for Amorim. They went for somebody who will abide to that. And in terms of style of play as well, I think Klopp and Slot are a little similar in terms of is that their intensity is there, the attacking mentality is there, but like I said, the crucial part will be how he deflects those Klopp comparisons. If he does well, he'll be decently successful. If he does not, he'll probably not last till December. Uh, I rate this transfer as a 6, mainly because anybody who succeeds Klopp, there is a huge chance of failure. Even if it was Alonso, I would have still gone for this uh, because of Klopp's weightage and legacy that he has left at Liverpool.
Okay. Yash, you're up next. Please share your thoughts.
Okay. Um, Honestly, I have not watched a lot of Feyenoord, um, so I'm not very well aware. But what I have watched a lot of and what I know a lot of is Michael Edwards, and I'm a very big fan of that person. About what he has achieved in the field of football, and if Michael Edwards has come to a decision this early in the transfer window that Arne Slot is his man, then I suppose this to be I suppose this to be a success, because Michael Edwards is seldom wrong, and um, uh, some of the decisions that Michael Edwards has taken have been so visionary. I expect this to be another. Uh, I won't. I'm pretty sure that Arne Slot has the squad that would easily enable a top four finish. So I'm easily predicting Liverpool to finish top four. Whether that is enough for Liverpool fans will depend on how he plays it, how he handles the media. He can achieve top four and still be considered a failure. He can achieve top four and can be still considered a success, depending on how he handles the media, as Apanish said, depending on how he connects with the fans, and depends on how what kind of football he plays. So that is going to be a much more important factor than the actual results. I think he will finish top four no matter what happens. He has the squad for it. In terms of a rating, I would give this a 9 on 10, simply because it was done and sealed very early. And Michael Edwards does not make wrong decisions. And I also don't think that even if it goes very badly, even if Liverpool start on a very bad note, I don't think he'll be sacked anytime soon. I think FSG and Michael Edwards will back him for at least 1.5 years, unless things go awfully wrong. Like he's down in the bottom half of the table, like finishing 12th or 13th. Unless that happens, I don't see him getting the sack. I think he'll be given enough time. That is what Michael Edwards does. That is what he did with Jurgen Klopp when he first brought him to the club. And uh, I rather than analyzing Arne Slot, I'm here just predicting another Michael Edwards masterclass.
Great, great. Uh, you mean unless things go the Ten Hag way,
Yes.
he will not be sacked. Although
Yes.
Ten Hag avoided sack. So another one in the Battle of the Baldies, which makes everything more interesting.
Imagine
So now,
Mikel Arteta coming bald next season because that is the cutting edge he's missing.
Exactly. And now I'm seeing the top four is Guardiola. Like you said, uh, he's who's Enzo Maresca is a manager who took from the Guardiola playbook and also from Guardiola stylist. So he's got the same thing over there. But again, regarding this transfer, I haven't seen a lot of Feyenoord. But what I knew is that Liverpool, as a team, whenever they played, and whenever, especially when they played at the Cop, it was all about passion, integrity. The crowd would actually be the 12th player that would push Liverpool fans. And I remember those times when City was completely dominant, and there was that one hope that a Liverpool will come, and in that match things could happen. Now there are many problems that Slot has to deal with. Mainly the star player Salah. He's also aging. They have to find a way to replace him. Although Luis Diaz is very close to that now. This season, I also think that he has become Liverpool's most dangerous player. But he's got a job to replace them. He's got to have the transfer acumen that Klopp bought. Klopp bought absolute nobodies in Andrew Robertson, and he bought some players whom we were laughing at when they got signed. Oxlade Chamberlain, he bought Oxlade Chamberlain. We were laughing at him. Ki, what is he going to do? And then they performed so well for that. So Klopp has done these things. Somehow, if he gets into that Liverpool mentality that you'll never block loan, and they have that us against the world mentality in the team, if he gets into that, he will succeed. I agree with Yash on the point that Michael Edwards will give him time. We've seen Liverpool giving time to the managers even if they fail or even if they don't perform very well. He will get the time, and he will be close to top four because Liverpool simply last season, considering last season also they are a very good squad. You can't deny that they have the players in the place. They have some very good upcoming talent like Jal Konsa, and they are going to be there. But this is not going to push right now. It's not going to push them to a level where they can compete with City for the title. They might be City and Arsenal, to be fair, for the title. I think they are a good shot for third, but a third four or a top four finish. And I rate this transfer a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, just because again the decision was made quite early, and Liverpool hardly make very wrong decisions. They are usually correct when it comes to transfers. So yeah, that's my analysis, and that's the end of our analysis here, guys.
Yep.
Okay, I
Do let us know what do you agree with in the comments. Do let us know what do you massively disagree with. We'll be more than happy to interact with you over comments, and we can deliberate on our predictions. Thank you so much for watching.
yes. Thank you so much. If you want us to cover any topics, please mention that in the comments too. We are a new channel. We need your support. Whatever you say, we will be good doing it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day, and thank you.
See you
Thank you.
soon.
Bye.